Hey, I'm Ben from Ampro.ai. This is video 1 of our Zapier tutorial series. If you've ever sent an email in Gmail, then congratulations, you have the skills it takes to create an automation using Zapier. Now, I like to think of Zapier sort of like a string that connects tools together. In this example, we're going to connect Google Forms to a custom email sent via Gmail, and the beauty of Zapier is that you can connect many tools in one automation. For example, we could connect Google Forms to Gmail and then a Slack notification, or even to our CRM or QuickBooks. Now let's go through how to actually set up a Zapier account and build your first automation. I promise it'll be easier than you expect. On the computer, you need to open a new tab with Zapier.com, and then in the center of the screen, you'll see this button that says Start Free with Google. Go ahead and click on that, then log in with your work account or your Gmail, and then click Continue. It'll ask you a few onboarding questions like your role at the business and what your favorite tools are. Feel free to fill those out, or if you're not sure right now, you can just click Skip at the bottom of the screen, and then you'll be taken to the home page, which looks like this. Once we're on the home page, all we need to do is click on Create in the top left corner, then select Zaps, and from here, I'll explain how Zapier works in the simplest way. You have a trigger, which is what actually makes your automation begin or go off. And then you have actions, which is every step you want that automation to do for you after that trigger starts. So in this demo, we're going to have it start with a Google form. So to do that, we will select trigger, and then we will type in Google Forms, or you can see I can select it right here at the top. And then we'll select the trigger event on the right side in the setup window. So I'm going to click Choose Event, then New Form Response. And then we have to connect our Gmail account so we can actually connect Google Forms. So click on Sign In. It's going to pop up a new window and then select your account. So mine is Ben at Ampro.ai. I'm going to click Continue. And then you'll see that it's going to connect my account here, and we can go to Configure. Now Configure is going to ask us which Google form do you want to use and have that be the trigger. Because if we have 50 different forms, we don't want this to go off every time someone fills out a form. We want it to be for a particular form. So to do this, I'm going to open a new tab with forms.google.com, and I'm going to walk through building the form with you. In the top left, I'm going to select blank form. Then it's going to open a new tab. It's going to ask me if I want to use Gemini. In this case, I'm going to click no. And then I'm going to start by setting a title for my form because it's very important to be organized to help you in your automation build. So I'm going to call this Zapier Demo. And then at the top of the form, we can see it retitled. And I'm going to add a few questions. Firstly, we're going to need this person's email address so we can actually know where to send them a message. So I'm going to click Add Question here on the right side. And I'm going to say, what is your email? Then instead of a multiple choice, I'm going to change this to be a short answer. You can see Google Forms actually detected that automatically. And then in the top, it gives us this templatized multiple choice question. So I'm going to change this to, have you used Zapier? And I'm going to add two options, yes and no. And the third thing I want to add is what is your name? So I'm going to click New Question. I'm going to write what is your name? And then you can see it automatically changed to short answer. Great. Now we have a Google form that we can use to test with, and we just have to give it some data. So fill out the form once as a sample so that we can use that in our Zapier build. So in the top right corner of Google Forms, I'm going to click on Publish, make sure it actually publishes, then copy this link here. And I'm just going to click Copy, open a new tab, paste it, and go to this form. So now I'm going to say, have you used Zapier? Yes. What is your name? I'm going to type in my name, and then I'm going to write an email address here. I'm actually going to write my personal email so that I can make sure the test goes to the proper email. So we're going to click Submit. And now we're going to go back to the Zapier tab. Now you can see on the right side of Zapier, we have Form under this Configure menu, and it's asking us to choose a value. So choose which form you want this to trigger on. I'm going to select here and refresh my results. And now we can see I have Zapier Demo Form, and then click Continue. Now I can click Test Trigger at the bottom right corner, and this should pull in the form that we just filled out, that submission. So we have form response A, and to see the answers, just click on this. You can see what is your name, Ben, what is your email, benrevson@gmail, and have you used Zapier is a yes. Wonderful, the form setup works. This is gonna be our trigger. Anytime someone fills out that demo Zapier form, it's gonna make this automation go off. Now we're going to click continue with selected record. Then it's going to pop up this app window again, which is what do we want the second application to be? And in this case, we're going to select Gmail. So I'm going to search for Gmail, and you'll see a very familiar setting here. So we have setup, action event. In this case, I'm going to scroll down and choose send email. So create and send a new email message. And then we're going to connect our Gmail account. So same thing again. We're going to click on sign in. We're going to select our email, click continue one more time for Gmail. And then we're going to go to our configure page. So we'll click configure right here in the top right. And this is where Zapier gets interesting. So you can see that it's asking, who do you want to send this email to? Who should be in the to field? All we have to do is click this plus icon, and then we can actually see from our trigger, we can choose what data we want to use. So I'm going to scroll down. We have what is your email. When I click on that, you can see it's automatically going to fill out benrevson@gmail.com for this particular form submission. I can choose to CC anybody I want. So you can do a mix and match. So I can actually CC ben@amper.ai, or I could CC Julian or whomever I want, or I could even add multiple emails in here with the automation. So if I had a form that said, do you want to CC anybody else? Let's say you have a form where you have multiple respondents on one form, like what is your name and your partner's name, and you can have it pull multiple emails. So then I'm just going to go down to my email subject, and I can have this be congrats on using Zapier. And then I can type in my email body. And I can use these variables again here. So I'm going to type hi, put a space, click on the plus, and then I'm going to scroll down and find what is your name. Now here's a tip for you. Instead of scrolling down, let's say you have a form with a bunch of questions on it, you could just search in here, and I can type what is your, and then what is your email, and what is your name. So we have the name here. So I can say, hi, Ben, and then I can say, congrats on using your first Zapier demo. It wasn't so hard, right? And then I'll add my name. Then I'll click continue, and now I can test this step. And you'll see that this publish button in the top right corner says, fix your Zap to publish. It's grayed out. And the reason being is we have not tested all of the steps. You can know if a step has been tested by this green check mark in the top left corner. So I'm going to click on test step. And right now what it's going to do is actually send a test email based on this criteria. So it's sending to benrevson@gmail.com. It CC'd ben@amper.ai. It put the subject as congrats on using Zapier. And then it wrote, hi, Ben, congrats on using your first Zapier demo. Wasn't so hard, right? And so now that I've tested this, I can click publish. The final thing that you might need to do is validate your account. So Zapier will send you an email and say, do you want to allow Zapier to use your address? Go to your inbox, click on verify, and go ahead and publish your first Zapier automation. Now, if you want to see this working in real time after you publish, simply go back to the tab with that Google form, fill it out with a little bit of different test data, click submit, and you'll see that within 2 minutes, you will have an automated email that's sent without you having to lift a finger. Congrats, and if you have any requests for our following videos in the Zapier tutorial series, please let me know.